Okay, so you have a cube, you have your AR camera, which has been brought in from your given Vuforia engine. We're doing a little bit of AR. You've learned how to bring in an AR camera. That's going to use our webcam. We know that we had to bring into our given project the Vuforia configurator. That was part of the add-on. So we've added that as an asset into our given project. And you have added an image target, and we've added a Pikachu from our image library, which is inside of our assets. Again, we have some image library. These are the images that we need to use to be able to point our camera or webcam so that our objects will appear for augmented reality. So now let's say we want to make the cube move. So we're going to go into assets, we're going to go into scripts, and you're going to create a new C# script. So again, we've done that a few times. We're going to call it object hover, and here I'm going to create this new file. So inside of my Visual Studio, I'm going to be able to write some code that goes along with that. So here is the public class object hover, and inside of our start position, we're going to declare inside of start, we're going to call to a original position, and that original position is going to be equal to our transform, and it's going to be equal to transform local position. So we need to look at what is original position and what is going to be this variable called original position. So we haven't created that variable. So just above the start, we're going to go outside of that, that given script, and we're going to add to that an actual vector3, which is going to be the vector3 of our cube. So all 3D shapes are vector3s, and we're going to call that vector3 original position, just like we called that original position here. So you can see original position calls to this variable vector3, and that vector3 now is going to be part of this given new position. So since it's an object, it can just automatically call to the X, Y, and Z, and that's the local position. And we're going to take that inside of the update. You're going to want to now transform. We're going to transform that given local position, and it's going to equal this new transform local position that we created is going to come from a new vector3. So every time that vector3 is called to, it's going to give it a new vector3. That new vector3 is going to be again transform dot local position, and here's where we can call to say the X, and we're going to take that value and we're going to use a math function. We're going to call to the math function and use mathf.sign, and we're going to use time dot real time since startup, and we're going to multiply that by 2 and then bracket, and we're going to multiply all of that by 0.1 f plus 0.1 f plus the original position y and the transform local position z. So all that's happening here is that we're going to take this value, and I'm just going to bring these down a line. We're going to take our original position, and what that original position is wherever it is going to be instantiated, and we know that cube shows up on top of our card, and it has a value of, I believe, y at decimal 0.7, and it has x and y at 0. And what's going to happen is it's going to take that and it's going to create a new local position that is going to be multiplied from the time at startup. And that time of startup is going to get the original position. And then it's going to go and take that position and add 1.1 and 0.1 to the Y position. And then it's going to transform our local position for Z. So let's just see, you can save that. We can go back into our project, and now we'll see that we can click on that cube and we can drag that object hover into our given inspector, or right onto the object, or into the word cube inside the hierarchy. I'm just going to drop it here above this box collider, and now that's been added to the cube. So now when we hit the play button, see what happens when you point your camera at your card. See how that changes your cube.